Hello, so it's July the 15th, and today we talk gold mining. COVID-19, the great accelerator I call it. So many things that were going to happen anyway have happened quicker than they otherwise would. We've modernised many working practices, adopted new technologies and abandoned old habits. Businesses have died, yet new companies are being formed at an unprecedented rate. Many relationships, whether working or amorous, have ended and new ones have begun, perhaps more intensely than they otherwise would. And to the delight of your presenter for the first time in yonks, we have a bull market once again in junior mining stocks. Oh my goodness, we've been waiting long enough. I remember the noughties. You used to buy a junior mining stock and it went up. What's the problem? 2008 came along, they crashed, but then they went back again so quickly it was as though the global financial crisis never happened. But by 2011, it reached the point where CEOs of tiny exploration companies whose main asset had as much chance of becoming a mine as I do of becoming a skydiving champion were jetting across Europe first class to raise money while taking up residence at the Savoy, the Shangri-La and the Dol de Grand. There then followed, and given the extremes reached, quite rightly followed, the most vicious, gruelling, relentless bear market ever known to man. There were 6 months of respite in early 2016, but the bear got its grip back and junior mining went into oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. And it didn't matter that gold was steadily creeping up. The miners were not playing ball. And then 2020 came along, and the game has just turned on a sixpence. The sector's up about 150% since the March crash lows. Individual stocks are doubling and tripling. Speculation is rampant. Investors are falling over themselves to get in on the game. And those lovely mining executives are happily trousering any money that's offered while it's on the table. And we know how this usually ends. Now, one company I have in my portfolio is called Canasil Resources. It's listed on the Venture Exchange in Toronto, and I'm not even entirely sure what it does. Silver exploration in Mexico or something. It's got a can in the name, so I'm guessing it's exploring in Canada too. Now, I'd heard a few years ago it was going to be taken out, so I bought some stock, and it duly didn't get taken out, but it remained in my mining portfolio, overlooked and forgotten. Not unlike my comedy career. And what the hell is that thing, I would ask myself when I occasionally surveyed my mining brokerage account. And in April of this year, it was trading at 5 cents. On Monday this week, it hit 22 cents. Why has this stock quadrupled? Partly because it was overlooked, forgotten and then rediscovered, partly because these microcaps are so small a tiny bit of buying sends them rocketing. But the main reason in this particular case is that the company announced last week it was going to do some drilling. And just on that announcement, not on the results, just that it was going to do some drilling, it doubled. It didn't say we found anything, just we're going to do some drilling, which is what it's supposed to be doing anyway. Now, if you take a look at this long-term chart of Canasil that goes all the way back to 2003, you can see, was ever there a chart that symbolised the feast and famine of speculative mining tiny caps? Huge spikes up, followed by collapse, followed by years of nothing, followed by another speculative frenzy, a collapse, years of nothing, another frenzy, collapse, and then another few years of nothing. So it's just gone from 5 cents to 20 cents. The disciplined investor should really take some money off the table, sell half or something. But I think this stock could have further to go. And this is not a recommendation. I stress I have no idea what this company does, what its management is like. I don't even know what its management is called. But in the boom of 2016, it went north of 70 cents. In 2011, it went to 60 cents. In 2007, it went to 80 cents. Why not something similar this time? So it's my view that this mining boom is just getting going because gold's at $1,800 an ounce. It's in a strong uptrend to my mind, it's almost inevitably going to go up another $100 to retest its old highs around 1920. It's already trading at all-time highs in most other currencies. If or when it does go to 1920, there's going to be a lot of hype. The FT might even mention it. So there's all that upside still left in this run for the miners. But then what if gold breaks above its all-time highs? How much noise then? And gold is very likely to break to new highs. Inflation is coming, as I've been saying for yonks. Money's being printed like there's no tomorrow. There's social unrest, negative real rates, a looming Cold War with China, economic recession, depression. GDXJ, which is the bellwether exchange-traded fund for junior mining, it's at $53. I'm looking at the US listing, not the London one's lower. It's broken above its 2016 highs, but it would have to almost triple to get back to where it was in 2011 at $140 or so. So for all the excesses we're already seeing in mining speculation, I would say this run has further to go. It will end, and it will end badly, as is always the case. But I don't think this is the end. I'm not even sure it's the end of the beginning. That would be the initial failed retest of the old highs at 1920. And you'll often hear Bitcoiners commonly saying, hodl, don't be tempted to sell. And at this point, we quote the great speculator Jesse Livermore, money is made by sitting, not trading. It was never my thinking that made the big money for me. It was always my sitting. Got that? My sitting tight. It is no trick at all to be right on the market. You always find lots of early bulls in bull markets and bears in bear markets. I've known many men who were right at exactly the right time and began buying or selling stocks where prices were at the very level which should show the greatest profit. And their experience invariably matched mine. That is, they made no real money out of it. Men who can both be right and sit tight are uncommon. So my advice, if you're a mining speculator, is sit tight. Thanks very much for watching this video. Please sign up to my channel. Please share this with a friend, and please look out for my books and songs on Amazon, Audible and elsewhere.